Welcome to your end of the month. Whoever needs to hear this message reading. It's not really date or time specific. I bring these to you twice a month, once around the middle of the month, once at the end of the month, just to kind of capture any messages that really needed to come through for whoever is watching. So, not tied to any sun sign or rising sign or any other thing. Just if the title speaks to you, if the message speaks to you, then it's likely your message. For those who are new, welcome to the channel. I hope if you enjoy the reading, you'll consider joining us and subscribing. And for those who are returning, you know how much I appreciate your co-creative effort in the comments and the way you show up. It is so inspirational, and it's what keeps me going. So I thank you for that. Okay. I am pulling 3 cards from Sacred Traveler. Let's see what the messages are. Solitude, wandering path, taking shelter. So the solitude and the taking shelter feel very connected. In silence, peace prevails. Taking shelter, the answers are within. The solitude and taking shelter cards feel very hermit-like. It's about an inner journey. And then we have enjoy the journey, wandering path, wherever it leads you, in silence, when you go within. This is your meditation. This is 4 of Swords energy. Even though 4 of Swords is a card of healing, to me it always feels very reflective and meditative, kind of zen. And I feel like that in silence, peace prevails is very much the energy of the 4 of Swords, where that taking shelter, the answers are within, feels more like the hermit. Yeah. This is a reflective period. This message will require your reflection while you're on this wild ride. Enjoy the journey. Beautiful messages. Okay. We'll see if any of those cards come through. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This is a reading for Twin Flame soulmate messages coming through. That's what my focus is on. Yeah, I'm feeling I need to shuffle a little bit more. Okay. One more. I hope this finds you well and safe and healthy and ready for a good weekend. Okay. Oof. Knight of Swords. Taking action. Something fast coming at you fast, or you moving. Wow. Some truths that need to be told. Some clarity coming in, an aha moment. Wow. Queen of Cups underneath, coming from love, unconditional love, empathy, compassion, high vibration love. How you got here. A choice was made, the Lover's card. That is the card of union, but it's also a card of choice. You have to choose each other, or in the absence of that, choose yourself. Meaning in a good way, right? For the highest good of your soul. I feel your goal is to communicate about this. There's some truth that has to be told, and the immediate goal in your conscious awareness is all around communication. Interesting. And going forward, choosing the path. So these 2 cards lead me to believe that choices, past and near future, need to be made. It's something that's been weighing on your mind. You're ready to communicate about it. And it feels like there's a pressure mounting to get out ahead of something, to come into some truth, or deliver some truth, or someone coming toward you with their truth. Let's take a look. Knight of Swords, please. Knight of Swords. Endings and new beginnings. The World card. Just so we're clear, there is a lot of air energy We've got the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Swords, both air cards. Lovers is Gemini, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are featuring prominently in this reading. Doesn't have to be, but for some of you that will be important. World card, endings and new beginnings. More air, Aquarius and Capricorn, the grounding, the as above, so below. Looking for some clarity. Yes. You cannot make it up. Guys, look. Ace of Swords comes out again. I feel there's like a shock and awe moment. There's a truth coming in that may make all the difference. May determine what happens, what choice, what path will be chosen. Wow. Because the World card, it is a card of endings and new beginnings, but we got to have an end first. So it can be just a card of completion, the kind of completion that leads to your freedom. This is a victory card. These are victory cards, the Ace of Swords. So I feel like some clarity is coming in that will determine if this is like a turn the page, same person, end one chapter, new beginning within a new chapter, or choose a new path. So this feels pretty powerful. And as a result, emotionally overwhelming and confusing. There's some confusion here. There's a lack of clarity. So that's why there's this pressure to get to some truth. Okay, that makes sense. Ace of Swords, a flash of insight. It feels like it kind of comes out of the blue. That's the challenge. You have to understand this was crossing. So that's the challenge. That's something that is trying to be worked through, but I almost feel like it kind of comes out of nowhere, unexpected. Like I said, shock and awe. So what the challenge to all this is that whatever this, see how there's an Ace of Swords here that's causing this confusion, endings and new beginnings. Then we get an Ace of Swords, the same card as the challenge. What crosses this situation is the potential that whatever that information is can bring the whole darn thing down, can just usher in a major tower moment. For who? For the Queen of Cups. For some of you, that will be, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio will be important. For others of you, it is about, I feel the truth will really kind of rock the world of somebody who's coming from high vibration love, who's really in love and who's really been emotionally available and who has been generous with their heart, with their empathy and their compassion. Right? So that truth comes in, and yeah, a lot of questions need to be answered. This is what's crossing this whole situation, and it could involve some perceived deception, betrayal, something that's just not on the level. So I do feel like we need to get to a truth. And I almost feel like in this Knight of Swords, someone's trying to get at that truth very quickly. Like time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. Yes. So let's look at this. This is what's unconscious. It's part of outside of your realm of conscious awareness, but it's motivating your behavior. And since it shows up over here, the Queen of Cups says your behavior is one of trust, is one of coming from high vibration love and unconditional love. The Queen of Cups is also highly intuitive. So there may be some underlying intuition outside of your conscious awareness that's driving this whole thing. Wow. Yeah. 3 of Cups. That ain't a cause for celebration. Since I see the Seven of Swords and I'm seeing a Tower moment, I feel there's third-party energy here. It's just you're going on intuition. This below card is usually things that are unconscious, but I'm not so sure it's unconscious because the High Priestess doesn't operate on suspicion. She operates on intuition. And I almost feel like if you're really having intuition that there may be a third-party situation, you would already know it. So what this leads me to believe is that on some level, you're trying to hold space with, around your intuition with regard to this third-party situation or the potential of it with your soulmate. Yeah. Ooh, right? Knowing on some level that you may not have all of the information or the proof, but your intuition, it is not your suspicion. Suspicion is darker, lower vibe energy. Your intuition is, well, here's what I see. Here are the facts, and here's what the downloads have been. Here's what my gut check tells me. It's a little bit different. It's like I intuit that this person that I feel so close to, that I feel as a soulmate, I intuit that even though despite my unconditional love for this person, that there may be some other energy entering or in the way or that they're not talking about, which is why your conscious awareness is, we got some stuff to talk about. That's why the Queen of Swords, there are questions around it. That's why the Seven of Swords comes out underneath. Because it's like, listen, I don't want to call you a liar or a cheat or someone who's trying to, pull a workaround and pull a smooth one. Old lady here with old geek words. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, no, you want to keep it more high vibration than that. It's too important. How did we get here? Lovers. A choice was made. Recent past. It flipped over. I want to get to it. Where are you? Sure. 8 of Wands. There's communication. Are we going to, is this a union? Are we choosing each other for a happily ever after? Or am I going to get hurt? Wow. Guys, you're taking the wind out of me. The last 2 or 3 readings have been so heavy. 8 of Wands. Yep, your goal. Let's communicate about it. Let's talk about it. I don't want to sit in the energy of, getting my heart broken. This is another card of third-party energy. So I feel on some level there was some desire to communicate about, look, am I going to find this, are we going to come together to be happy and content, or is there someone else that could, flip the game board? And that's the truth I think you're trying to get to. That truth that comes in feels like it's kind of shock and awe. You're trying to stay in high vibration, ask the right questions. Yeah. Knight of Swords again. Very clear on this reading. We need to get to the truth quick, fast, and in a hurry. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. To reestablish a sense of balance and fairness and equal give and take. Oh, wow. Underneath, devil energy. That's not anything near what I feel a Queen of Cups would be all about. Not wanting to be pulled into something toxic or an old pattern or something of a lower vibration, which, you know, like I keep saying, 2 is company, 3 is a crowd. And I'm almost feeling that there's some intuitive sense that you may be involved in a situation or in a connection where that choice wasn't really made. You talked about it. You probably expressed your feelings around it, especially if you're here as a Queen of Cups. But on some level underneath, this was a concern. And that's why the conversation is like, y'all, someone's got to come clean. Let's get to the truth in a hurry. The clarity needs to come in fast. Knight of Swords sometimes can get out over their skis, right? Sometimes can act without thinking, or act before, or say something before they thought it, like speaking before they think. Yeah, I'm getting my tongue tied, but you know what I'm trying to say. So I feel like there's an urgency here to get out ahead of something and to talk about something, to be sure that there's some equitable exchange, that things are fair and balanced, and that there isn't something lying underneath the surface in weight that is darker and less evolved and feeling a little bit like repeating patterns of the past that may be lower vibration. So I kind of feel like I'm not seeing that something has actually happened. I feel there's intuition around it. I feel that there's a sense about it. And therefore, what I really love about this reading is there's a desire. It literally feels like let's have all cards face up on the table. And like I say that all the time, but no pun intended. It really feels like someone here who needs to hear this message is saying, I want complete and total transparency and clarity. It isn't coming from suspicion. It's coming from an intuition, from a gut check, from an inner knowing. From an inner knowing that something has not yet been resolved that may involve a third party. And I feel that whoever this is, and I feel like I'm talking to someone who's in the energy of a Queen of Cups. You do not have to be a water sign, but if you're a Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio, then like check that box. If you're not, it's just the energy of somebody who's very empathic and trusting and loving and good-natured and emotionally available. And I almost feel like, but what you're really wanting to do is cut to the chase. Let's talk this through, because something doesn't pass the smell test. And I know that sounds more like suspicion, but it's not. It's like, you know, where you get a sense where, you know what, I don't think we've resolved this yet. So I have more questions so that I can be assured that everything's on the level. So I'm not here indicting anybody. I'm not saying that you're being cheated on. I'm not saying that there is a third party. If there's no such thing in your existence, then this isn't your message. I'm speaking to someone, or those of you who say, yeah, I don't think we have fully explored that in the light of day, and sunlight is the best disinfectant. So I kind of feel like there's been this underlying worry or concern about getting roped back into something that isn't what you had in mind. And you got to get to the truth of it. Okay. So that you can choose the path. The Two of Wands, I love the Two of Wands because it's like the whole world of possibilities is in the palm of your hand. See, I'm holding the globe, and it's all about, listen, now that I look out on the horizon and there are these two paths before me, sometimes there's more than two, but we're just going to go with two because we're either going to choose the union, you know, the lover, or we're going to choose to come home to ourselves and opt out of a situation that we feel diminishes us in some capacity. I'm just going to say that because that's exactly what I feel I see here on the table. But the Two of Wands gives you the option to look at the two paths and to say, what feels best in my best interest? because you can't, it's not a right or wrong. You know, you choose a path and it turns out not to be in your best interest. Doesn't make it a wrong choice. It makes it a not right choice for you at that moment. Might be a good choice for you later down the road. Does that make sense? Like, I love the Two of Wands because it takes the pressure off. It asks you to think from your higher self about what is in your best interest. And that's what's coming up in your future. I love this. There's something good on the horizon. I feel like fate steps in. Fate may step in. Destiny's at the wheel. Just be patient. Both of these cards are trying to let you know that, you know, choose your path, but then understand on some level it's all going to roll out organically in divine time. I love that. What a beautiful energy. And you'll be able to move to calmer waters and lay down the burden. Perfect. So it almost leads me to believe that where we go from here is forward facing, you know, understanding that there's something that is that we're destined to encounter something in divine time if we just stay in gratitude for what we already have accomplished, what we already have, and look forward to better days ahead, less turbulence, smooth sailing. What's meant to be will be. Almost feels like choosing a path of no resistance, not least resistance, but of no resistance. Like, don't resist, let go of the wheel. It's all rolling out organically, and you will soon be able to lay down the heavy burden. Oh, my dears. Okay, so if you are enjoying this and want to follow me, the rest of the Celtic Cross I will lay out includes advice to you. That's usually, it comes in to account for everything that's happening right now in this situation, and it gives you recommendations for the best approach to be taken going forward. Yet external influences, what may be coming at you from the outside world, people, energies, or events which can impact the outcome that you need to be aware of, your hopes and or fears. That's like a powerful card. What in your heart of hearts would you hope for, and what do you fear the most? And then the outcome, what can you expect going forward? And we can get some clarity around that. And if timing is a factor, it will come out there, although the timing feels very clear to me that there's an organic energy around it and a fated energy around it, meaning what will be, and if it's meant to be, it will be, and when it's meant to be, it will be. All right, thank you so much for joining me. The link to the extended is below. I hope to see you there in a second. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day and weekend, and I'll see you on a future reading. Take care.